The tragedy today, I think, is a lot of people think they just hung somebody, but a ritualized lynching was a part of the culture of the South with even religious and patriotic connotations. Think about this. Some white folk, if they had the time, dressed up in their old army garb, their old army uniform, to come out to a lynching. Racism reached a point, it was so dramatized and so ritualized and codified in the laws and in the practices that it was the most normal, patriotic, the most religious thing that you could do is to worship segregation.
But in the sea of violence, there were islands of hope. One was in the Mississippi Delta, a town called Mound Bayou.
There was no other place for me other than Mound Bayou. To me, it was the greatest place around. People could, we have our own officers. I didn't have to walk down the street afraid.
This was something that was unbelievable in this very racial conscious era, where there was so few opportunities other than manual labor for black people.
We had everything in Mound Bayou that heart could desire. We had oil mills, we had stores, we had bottle works, we had hospitals, we had zoos, we had swimming pools. We had a lot of things that people would enjoy.
Mound Bayou was founded in 1887 by black businessman Isaiah T. Montgomery, a Southern man with a simple philosophy. It's a white man's country. Let them run it.
Isaiah Montgomery is a true American, and in a sense, he was extraordinarily opportunistic. Isaiah Montgomery had the ability to identify those individuals who had goods and services and political power and esteem in the community and ingratiate himself with those persons.
Following the lead of men like Pap Singleton, Montgomery planned to create a safe harbor for blacks.
It was not easy to find settlers in the early days. The task of clearing a wild country seemed hopeless to men with so few resources and so little experience. Isaiah Montgomery.
The Delta of Mississippi in the mid-1880s was nothing more than a wilderness. These black people who came to the Mound Bayou area had to cut down trees, had to drain bayous, had to build up the land, had to fight off wild animals and snakes, and they lived as frontiersmen lived throughout the world.
Day by day, a town began to take shape. Churches, a post office, and schools replaced the forest.
My grandmother was Ada Simmons. She came here from Virginia. She wanted other than what she had been doing, the slavery and the people telling them what to do. She had in her mind that there must be something else. There must be something that was, better than what she was living under.
Unlike some black communities, the whites did not come in and destroy the community like some instances of other black communities. I believe because there was a notion that a separation of the races was an answer to the race problem.
By 1890, Mound Bayou was on its way to becoming one of the most prosperous black communities in the country. The jewel of the Delta, as it would later be called. That year, Mississippi assembled a convention to pass its new Jim Crow Constitution. The only black delegate was Isaiah T. Montgomery.
Black people were looking for somebody that whites would accept, and so they elected Isaiah to go to this convention.
My mission is to offer an olive branch of peace to bridge a chasm that has been developing and widening for a generation that threatens destruction to you and yours while it promises no enduring prosperity to me and mine.
Isaiah Montgomery, burning with desire to protect Mound Bayou from white intervention, agreed to vote in favor of an amendment to keep illiterates from voting. The law's real meaning was clear.
There is no use to equivocate or lie about the matter. Mississippi's Constitutional Convention was held for no other purpose than to eliminate the nigger from politics. Not the ignorant, but the nigger. James Vardaman.
Mississippi whites cheered, but to black leaders, Montgomery was a traitor and a turncoat.
He has virtually said to the nation, you have done wrong in giving us this great liberty. He has surrendered part of his rights to an enemy who will make this surrender a reason for demanding all of his rights. He is not a conscious traitor, but his act is an act of treason. Treason for the cause of the colored people not only of his own state, but of the United States. Frederick Douglass.
Montgomery claimed the black vote was lost anyway. He hoped he had won a measure of safety for his people. Mound Bayou is the ship, he said. All else is an open, raging, tempestuous sea. While many black leaders, like Douglass, were outraged by Montgomery's vote, Booker T.